Welcome back.
Yo, Base Guru.
Welcome back.
Hey, what's up, dude? This guy, that guy right there. What is up, everybody? Welcome. We got game news this morning, and I'm on time today. Everything's going pretty good for old Zoidberg. All right, I think everything's functional. I need to make sure that the stream started on. There we go. Apparently, during the Splat Task stream, the main YouTube stream just went off. I need to delist it because it's like an incomplete video anyway. I really love this remix. All these mixes, man. Like I made a stream playlist that I vibe with too much. So like I could just sit here and jam out and forget I'm live. And then, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I'm working today. Those that know can pick up on some context there. But for everybody else, I'm not providing context. You just have to get to know me. Gonna ask about that? I'm gonna find out after the stream. Hey, all right, guys. Welcome to the stream. Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, my dudes. I hope you're all having a great week so far. We're in the middle of the week. Denald coming in with a hydrate. We got game news today. We're gonna talk about quite a few stories. Does my audio sound weird? It just kind of, I don't know. I feel like my mic sounds funny in the monitor. It could be that. It could be that I had the speaker turned up really loud. You guys got to keep me accountable with this kind of stuff. Let's see. What was I clicking? I was trying to find a button. Oh, button. Who's got the button? All right. Anyway. We got quite a few things to talk about today. I was changing the playlist. That's what I was doing. I really wish I could control Apple Music from my Stream Deck, because then I could just start this playlist with a button. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I'm just not there yet. Anywho. All right. We got some tunes. Trying to keep it in the background, keep it smooth. Welcome in, everybody. All right, let's get to our game news. We got quite a few things to talk about today. And shifter into news mode there. And move that out of the way. That is definitely not where that goes. There we go. All right. And we're off. We're off. I thought I was ready, and I'm not, but then I am. It's all over the place, chat. All right, let's jump to our first topic. Quite a few things to talk about. EA and their acquisition and some of the fallout from that. And then the Halo hype cycle begins anew. So let's jump in. Let's start with Super Mario Galaxy, though. Maybe. I might have messed up. Did we not switch? Yeah, there we go. We're there. All right. So the review roundup from Nintendo Life for Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2, which we knew was coming out. It's coming out tomorrow, October 2nd. Today's October 1st. Happy October. 3 months left in the year, y'all. 2025, a year to remember. Anyway, so it's, reviews are out for Mario Galaxy, and Nintendo Life did a little roundup of the reviews, and we'll just kind of run down their list. If you think I'm gonna be like negative about this, wait. All right, because we know the game is costly, but it's still 2 really good games. So they kick things off. VGC Galaxy 1 and 2 got a 5 out of 5, and their comments say Odyssey may have since topped the Galaxy games with its sheer craftsmanship, but in my eyes, this is still 3D Mario platforming at its very best, which also makes Galaxy and Galaxy 2 some of Nintendo's very best games. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the sentiment, right? Like, just because they've been re-released at a slightly higher than expected price point on the original Switch, no less. This isn't like a Switch 2 like port enhancement or whatever. This is Switch 1 and 2. The games are still good. They're still like very good games. So, yeah, I mean, we keep that in mind. Gaming Bible gives it a 10 out of 10. Destructoid gives it a 9 out of 10. Tech Radar gives it a 4.5 out of 5, saying, hey, it's great, but like it's kind of expensive and there's not enough new content there. And then The Gamer gave it a 4 out of 5, saying it's the definitive means to experience 2 of the best platformers ever made. It's just unfortunate that the package is prohibitively expensive and borderline insulting to those who want to enjoy it most. Hey, Dan, good to see you. And that's kind of how I feel. Like, it is expensive, but it's also like Nintendo's IP, 2 of their greatest releases ever on one of the most popular systems they've ever had before the Switch. If not the most popular system they had before the Switch. I mean, the Wii did numbers its whole life cycle, and then the Wii U kind of tarnished its good name. But it's fine, because we got the Switch now. And the Wii U had to stumble so the Switch could run. But I want to pick this up. I don't know if I'm picking this up right away, but I think I'm going to pick it up soon-ish. Because they are really good games, and I don't have to dig out the Wii or the Wii U to play them now. I can just pop the cartridge into the Switch. Very excited for this release. Price notwithstanding. Not excited to pay for it, but I am excited to pick it up. All right, well, let's move on. Nintendo has announced an establishment of a new local entity in Singapore. Nintendo Singapore aims to accelerate business. Nintendo Life writes this up. Nintendo is continually growing in business in all sorts of ways, and today it's announced the establishment of a new local entity located in the Republic of Singapore. According to the official press release, hold on, guys. I'm not thrilled with what I'm hearing, and I think I know what it is. There we go. Might have been the fan. I can relate to not excited to pay for it. Dude, I just had to buy a new dishwasher. I'm not excited to pay for much. Anyway, okay, so Nintendo has opened up an local establishment in the Republic of Singapore. According to the official press release, Nintendo Singapore was established last week on 26 September 25. It aims to accelerate the growth of the company's business in Southeast Asia and will be led by Managing Director Takahiro Miura. Here's the announcement and overview. Okay, so it's a Southeast Asia branch. I don't know why it's significant, except that, in a growing market, it would make sense to have a local office in Southeast Asia and be able to cater to that audience down there. And probably localization and hardware availability can be addressed more directly there. It's kind of cool. It's interesting to see Nintendo expand in a time where cuts and layoffs are prevalent, I guess is my point here, and why it's included in this episode of Game News. All right, let's move on. All right, let's talk about the PlayStation. The Gamer gives us this article. The new PS5 Slim model apparently has cheaper materials on top of a decreased SSD. So we got just a few weeks after it was leaked that the PlayStation 5 Slim, the smaller form factor version, and smaller, it should be in quotes, but smaller form factor version of Sony's flagship console would receive a new model that would cut the SSD size from 1 terabyte to 825 gigs without a meaningful price cut to help compensate. We now have our first real look at the insides of the new PS5, and the SSD isn't the only thing that's changed. So we got Austin Evans' video, where he opens it up. And it says it's first spotted by Video Games Chronicle via a new video from YouTuber Austin Evans. The revised PS5 Slim, which is currently exclusive to the European market, ditches the glossy finish that was a trademark of the console in favor of a cheaper matte finish. I personally think a matte finish would look better. Glossy scratches up. I mean, anybody have the Pro model or the whatever model of the Wii U? The second time I brought up the Wii U this episode. But it was glossy. I mean, I guess the basic model was also glossy, but the black glossy finish scratched and scuffed, and I would have preferred a matte finish. I don't put glossy on anything anymore. Let's stop using glossy plastic, please. Okay, it says while the console is lighter, it has a redesigned heatsink and the fan inside is no longer guarded by metal. Thermal tests ran by Evans are nearly the same, though that could change with more long-term use. It's by no means a make-or-break type of situation, though considering that the SSD is smaller and the materials are undeniably cheaper, it's worth wondering, just outside global market conditions, the console wasn't made cheaper like past consoles have been, including PlayStation's own PS3 Super Slim. Yeah, they didn't do a Super Slim to cut costs. They just are changing the outsides and some of the insides. I have a PS5, but maybe I'm too old at this take. Who cares? You buy the console for the games, not the look. Yes, somewhat. I didn't buy the OG PS5 because I thought it was an ugly piece of hardware. But I also always wait for the revised PlayStation before I buy it. With the exception of the PS2. PS2, I had a launch model, or at least a year one model. I don't know if they did any revisions. Because I really wanted some of the games at launch. Or within like the first couple of years. I don't know. It still had the little port. It's horrible looking, but I wanted to play the games. I could wait. I had enough to play. But that's how I feel. Like that's just me. I mean the Xbox Series X is an ugly box and I wish it looked cooler. But it plays my games, so I can't complain. I mean I can. I just did, but it is ugly. I suppose what I'm saying is the look won't stop me from buying it. It's fair. That's fair. More hardware changes could be in the works at PlayStation. Interestingly enough, while Evans was able to get his hands on the previously leaked new PS5 Slim, it isn't the only rumored revision that could be coming to PlayStation 5 hardware line. Last week, The Gamer reported how a new PS5 Pro was rumored to be in the works, though it was unclear what changes, if any, were being made. There are reportedly improvements, but the SSD, according to reports, will remain the same, as will its price point. Based off of the above video, there's a chance that those improvements will come by way of cheaper materials. And that's where I'll stop because the next article goes into my next point. But, we're in an interesting time, and this always happens with console revisions and console life cycles. I always complain. Dang, son. Call me out. But this always happens with console generations, though. They optimize the production process. They find ways to cut shipping costs and lighter materials. Different materials that are just cheaper to produce or acquire or whatever the situation might be. I'll add up in the at scale kind of thing. When you're shipping millions of these things worldwide, if you can make it cheaper to ship them, you will do it. Also, just as like the CPU production process gets a little better as time goes on, they find ways to shrink the boards, and well, they used to anyway. I feel like this generation, they didn't bother. They just found a way to make the PS5 physically smaller because the amount of airflow, I guess, in the OG model wasn't super necessary. It was like a safety thing. It was like a just in case. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. So I feel like with the current situation and console prices actually going up over time during a generation now, this is a way for them to not have to increase costs instead of what we usually see where they do a revision and it's usually a little bit cheaper. I think that's obvious. Most people that see that. So I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know if it's going to be worse. I guess we'll find out. But the idea of a matte finish PlayStation 5 does sound appealing to me. That's all I'm saying. But the DualSense is also getting a potential update. As we can see here from VGC, Sony is reportedly set to release an updated PS5 DualSense controller with a removable battery. I think that's what we need to know. There's a Polish site that says Sony's working on a revised version of the DualSense for PS5. According to the source, new DualSense controller, known internally as the DualSense V3, will launch in November and will feature a removable battery. Autosaver, I'm surprised Xbox hasn't done a revision, given us what, $650 now? No, dude, I'm with you. It does surprise me completely. Like how have we gotten to this point? You know? Forgot to turn that off from the other day. I gotta delete those sources. Anyway. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, what have they not been able to shrink the die down? Have they not been able to, reduce the power draw so there's not as big of a PSU needed? Like, what's keeping them from going down the revision route? But I also think they haven't sold through enough. So yes, the DualSense, internally known as DualSense V3, will launch in November, feature a removable battery, which Denali points out, they still know how to make those? I'm flabbergasted, dude. Although this hasn't been clarified in more detail, the wording appears to suggest this doesn't mean the ability to use AA batteries, but rather a rechargeable battery, similar to that already in current DualSense controllers, just with the ability to replace it with a new one, or potentially one with a higher capacity if needed. The report says the revised DualSense will be released in November and will replace the DualSense controllers currently on sale at retailers. As for the revised PS5 Pro, the report suggests it will be a minor revision, which will use 3% less power in the current model and will include one of the revised DualSense controllers, which makes sense. It says, while Sony releases major revamps of its consoles each generation, such as the slim PS... See, they put it in quotes. Perfect. The slim PS5 design and the PS5 Pro, it occasionally releases more minor revisions with very little announcement or fanfare. The most recent example of this is a newly revised PS5 Digital Edition, which will now feature 825 gigs of storage instead of 1 terabyte. And then, yeah, that's what we were talking about last time. So yeah, I really like the idea of the DualSense having a replaceable battery, because, the controller, I don't want to have to open it up and like mod it, in quotes, to get a fixed battery. I don't mind doing it, I just don't want to. So this will just take some of that off, and it's a smart move. I mean, the reason Xbox is stuck with AA batteries with optional rechargeable packs is because it's so much easier and your controllers will last longer. Like, I like having a rechargeable battery in my controller. In fact, the rechargeable battery in my Series S controller is an Xbox One rechargeable pack that, yeah, I don't know if it'll show up on camera. It may be too dark. Anyway, it says Xbox One rechargeable battery, model 1556. This one was one I had when the series, or the series, when the one launched back in the day, and I like the option. I like that it still works with like my Series S and X controllers, and that redesign. It makes a lot of sense. And I hope that these battery packs, there's a good third-party offering with maybe a higher capacity. I think that would be fantastic. Because the PS5 controllers die so quick. They die from, like, idle battery drain. Like, I have 3 DualSense controllers that we use. And if one of them isn't, like, I have two of them on a charger. And then one standalone. And if the one standalone one doesn't cycle into that charger at some point, it'll just be completely dead. Like, phantom drain is a problem. So yes, it definitely does feel like the batteries don't last on these things. So just being able to pop in a new pack would be awesome. It's a good move. It's a good move. All right, let's move on. All right, here we go. Big story for today. Halo Studios promises deep dive in October. So let's let the hype cycle start now, because we knew this was coming, but now we've got a little bit of a confirmation. We'll finally be able to learn more about the future of Halo in October, Halo Studios reveals. The Halo series is one of Xbox's signature franchises alongside Gears of War and Forza. You know, the old Halo Gears Forza meme. Bringing the FPS genre to new places, it has been going strong since 2001. I don't know about that. I don't know about going strong. It definitely has been going. I just know about strong. What's up, Brent? Good to see you. Last year, 343 Industries, which then became Halo Studios, teased that the next entry would be revealed this year. Fortunately, we now have an exact date of when we'll see the Master Chief again. Maybe. Who knows what they're going to show us. In a blog post about Halo World Championship, Halo Studios announced a new main stage event focused on the future of Halo. Oh, this is going to be like a big event, not just like some trailers. The event is set to happen on October 24th in the afternoon, though no specific time was given. The exact time as well as streamable platforms will be revealed in the coming weeks prior to Halo World Championship. As for what was said, they said it will consist of a big event followed by a deep dive panel. Last year, the team gave fans a look at an Unreal Engine 5 based Master Chief. The model looks strikingly similar to Combat Evolved's version, which featured the same helmet, with many rumors pointing towards it, especially with the 25th anniversary coming up. A remake of Combat Evolved may be the big reveal. However, fans are hopeful that the next mainline entry in the series, Halo 7, is announced or at least teased. The studio does have several projects in the works, so chances are it's in the pipeline. Luckily, the wait to find out won't be long at all and only a few weeks away. So what I'm really... Oh man, there's so much to unpack at what they could show. What I'm hoping for, personally, here, is I'm hoping that we get new games. I wouldn't mind a Halo remake. I really wouldn't. If it was a, like, reimagined game instead of just like Halo Anniversary was really cool for the time, but that's our remaster. So if we're gonna go that route, let's do a remake. Now don't do another remaster and just put like better visuals on top of the same game. I would be okay with that, but I think we've played Halo 1 a long time. We can play it in Halo Master Chief Collection right now, or fired up on our OG Xboxes if we still have them. You know, it's just. Like, if they're gonna remake it, do a full remake. Don't just remaster it. That to me is the difference. Like, make this like a newer build of the game. Hopefully it includes some multiplayer. Whatever. However, I think they will also show or announce Halo coming to PlayStation and possibly Switch 2. I could see the Master Chief Collection launching on both platforms very soon with crossplay, cross progression. You know, you sign into your Xbox account, you have all your unlocks and campaign progress and everything. Which I think that's more likely what we're gonna see. That's gonna be a big, maybe like a holiday surprise or a next year surprise. I don't know. We'll find out. But I think that's what we're gonna see. I would like to see what Halo Studios has been working on as far as new stuff, but I do think we'll get that PlayStation 5 port announced officially. It exists. There's no reason to believe it doesn't exist with the direction Microsoft has been going. That might break the internet. I think a lot of Xbox loyalists will have some issues seeing Master Chief on PlayStation, and I think a lot of PS5 gamers will be very excited that they can play Halo. Zeke, what's up, dude? Xbox is Sega with extra steps. It does feel that way. Imagine if Sega like published Sonic Adventure on the GameCube, but also kept the Dreamcast in production. That's what this is. But with good reason. I mean, you can play so many Microsoft published games now everywhere, like literally every platform. And so, you know, they're still winning by having their own ecosystem. But the true victory is in digital sales on all the platforms, right? Like, they are making bank. You know, hardware sales, that hardware is such an expense. That's why they de-emphasized it. That's why they partnered with Asus, because they're not responsible for the hardware. Asus is. Anyway, I'm excited for what. Oh, here we go. What's up, Will? Nice job being on that 3-stream streak. Thanks for being here. But I'm excited for whatever they might show. I'm hoping it's good. I want Halo Studios to actually deliver on promises made. You know, like promises made, promises kept. And my biggest issue with Halo Infinite was we were promised some features that just never manifested, and then were just canceled. Split screen being my primary one. That's my main example. That's probably my only example. But that bugged me because, you know, one of the weakest parts of Halo 5 was there wasn't any split screen campaign. Zeke's on streak 19. Dude, let's go. Hype. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping this hype cycle doesn't disappoint because gosh, look, y'all, like if this next game looks mid, or I think people will have a problem if it's just Halo 1 remade and that's the big reveal. I think we need to see both, right? If Halo 1 remake is real and we're getting that, and that's going to be like the anniversary thing, but also tease us the next game too. Show us what Halo 7 might be, or give us something. You know, we don't want just the remake, because most of us have been playing Halo a long time. We've played Halo 1 a lot. Don't know that I want to play it again. It's kind of like Kingdom Hearts. There's a rumor that Kingdom Hearts 1 is going to be remade. Do I really want to play it again? I've played through the first one so many times. So I don't know. It's just kind of wild that they would go all in on a remake, except to appeal to nostalgia. And even then, I don't know if that's going to work this time. Because I felt like Master Chief Collection was the appeal to nostalgia. And then it flopped at launch, and then they fixed it. It's really great now. So just focus on putting that on PS5 and Switch 2. And I think then focus on Halo 7 or whatever the next entry will be. And it would be great. KH1 should get a remake, but does it need to? No. I'm kind of with you there, Zeke. Will they deliver in a remake that the remaster didn't? That's a very good point. And I'm concerned that they would retcon a lot of the story in favor of, I don't know, modern storytelling. I don't know what I mean by that, except that I don't want a good story changed just for the sake of somebody coming in and changing it. Right? And that's what I would be worried about with a remake. That's what happens. You know, it's like, oh, we changed this detail or these details from this great game that we've enjoyed for years, for decades. And then we're going to change the story because, hey, we're remaking it from the ground up. I don't know what, like, other than better visuals and maybe, you know, a different way of playing the OG Halo and making it, like, more open, like Halo Infinite, that could be a thing. But I don't know. Would people want that? Then it's like, well, now you just made a different game and called it Halo 1. You know, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I would like to know. I would like to see. So I guess we'll find out later this month. Hopefully we get a time and not just a date for this deep dive and announcement situation. I'm looking forward to it. I can get excited about stuff, but then I don't want to be let down. All right, let's move on. Maybe. All right, this got me pumped. Marvel Rivals is getting cross progression with Season 5. You know, I feel like we just talked about that cross progression probably wouldn't come for a while to Marvel Rivals. And now it's Season 5 on the horizon, and looks like we're going to get cross progression. You know, I don't know what else needs to be said here, but I'm very pumped for this. We'll look at the article. Just try not to choke here. Keep the story, but have more stuff, hints to future games. Only so minuscule, only real Halo fans see it. Yeah, I feel like that would make sense, Zeke. All right, so let's read. After fan feedback, cross progression is finally coming to Marvel Rivals with Season 5. Rivals is in the middle of its 4th season, which introduces Angela and Daredevil to the roster. Called the Heart of the Dragon, players get access to a new map, modes, and continued support for the title. Since its release in December 24, however, there has been one fan-requested feature that, after discussion, will finally be added in Season 5, cross-progression. In a developer vision posted on Marvel Rivals YouTube, creative director Wang revealed that cross-progression is coming to the title. However, it won't be added until Season 5, which will likely launch later this year. Still, a select few players will get to try out the feature during Season 4.5. This means that for some, they'll be able to transfer their stats to another console and play on whatever they want. Which is great. Mostly what I want is skins and stuff to carry over. When it becomes available, you have to link your PlayStation. I'm sorry, you have to link your accounts to the game, like your PlayStation Plus or Steam account. They also state while you'll be able to play across multiple platforms, your rank and leaderboard positions will differ with each device. Still, for many who don't stick to one console, you'll be able to continue your progress wherever you want without restarting. Since launch, fans have been asking for the feature to be added. While it is going to be with Season 5, it's good to know the team was listening and it won't be long until it's ready. This is great. I've wanted this feature since Marvel Rivals came out. I don't really know why it didn't launch with cross progression. But if you're gonna do crossplay and tell me I can play on any game, like this game's available everywhere, but I can't bring my stuff everywhere, then I'm not playing it everywhere. You know? But now I'll probably play on PC off and on, and play on PlayStation a little bit. You know, that'll be great. But we'll see how it works once I log into all my accounts. Because right now, Xbox is my primary platform for Rivals when I play. I haven't played in months. Goodness, I feel like I'm dying. I'm tired of coughing, y'all. All right, anyway. Let's move on. This is great, though. Great news. Season 5 should be good. All right. Avalanche Studios closes office, lays off staff after Contraband cancellation. So, Avalanche Studios, the developer behind the recently canceled Contraband, has announced its plan to close its office in Liverpool and lay off an unknown number of employees. In a statement posted on the studio's website, Avalanche says that the decision comes after an internal review and in light of its current challenges to its business and the industry as a whole. This review has led us to a difficult conclusion that we must make changes to our staffing and locations. As a result, we're proposing to close our Liverpool studio and to initiate a collective consultation process as required by UK law. This will impact all Avalanchers in Liverpool. Oh man. This change will also impact our other studio locations in Malmo and Stockholm, where we will reduce our workforce and restructure the teams to address our game's needs. End of year layoffs. I'm tired. Dude, this is a bummer. Insider Gaming reached out for clarification on the number of employees that will be impacted by the office closure and layoff. Should a response be received, it will be added to the story. The news of layoffs and office closure shouldn't come as much of a surprise. In August, it was announced that development was stopped on Contraband and that the game was canceled. At the time, Avalanche said it was going to evaluate the project's future. With the layoffs, it might be safe to say that the game is officially no more. In addition to Contraband, Avalanche Studios is best known as the developers of the Just Cause franchise, along with titles like Rage 2 and The Hunter. So, bummer. Like, I hate this. Here we are, yet again. More closures, more layoffs, more issues. And it's like, oh well, that's just business, you know? It's like, man, people have spent... How long was Contraband in development for before it was canceled? A few years, if I remember right. People like poured time and effort into that for it to just be like, just done. You know, I don't know. It's a bumper. I hope everybody does land on their feet from this. They'll find a better job in or out of the games industry. Whatever they look for, I hope they find it. But that's a huge bummer. Just Cause is such a fun game too. All right, let's move on. Let's see, off topic, but boggles my brain that the Brits thought naming their town after a pool filled with liver would be an appealing name. Yeah, fair. All right, let's talk about EA, because we know we talked about Monday, they were likely going to be sold. Well, it turns out they were sold. And I didn't think to feature that article here this week, but that's because I doing my best here. But the new owners hoping AI will cut costs and boost profits, it's claimed. Yeah, this is concerning because AI is becoming the next blockchain buzzword, right? We remember blockchain was everything for like a little bit. It started to they tried to work its way into the games industry. And people were like, no, we don't. What sense does this make? Whatever. And there are games that use blockchain tech and crypto tech, and it's interesting, and that's a whole different beast than AI. But I feel like this sentiment is the concern. Cut costs and boost profits. So, let's read. EA's new owners are banking big on AI in the future for the company. According to a new report from the Financial Times, the ownership group is betting on AI being able to significantly cut CEA's operating costs. Per the report, the enhanced use of AI will be used as a way to also boost EA's profits in the coming years. This will allow the new owners to manage a large debt load on a company that historically carried limited net debt. Well, the debt was a result of the buyout, right? Like they got saddled with $20 million in debt just right off the bat, or was it billion? I don't even know. Money's not real at this scale. I feel like it's just numbers on a computer. Anyway, I'm just kidding. On Monday, it was announced that EA would be sold for $55 billion to a group that includes Silver Lake, Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, and the investment firm Affinity Partners, owned by, I don't know why this is necessary. Affinity Partners, owned by Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. Okay, I don't care who owns the company or what that matters to this particular situation, but thank you for that, I suppose. OG Luke, thanks for the heart me. So he's going to get worse, nothing new. We'll see. The deal will see current stockholders pay $210 per share, a 25% premium over EA stock price. The deal, which will see the company taken private, was reported late last week. Not enough details on what the AI push might be here, but it's what I'm really concerned is they think the generative AI is going to be a magic button that makes games, and that is not the case. You still need people. You're still going to need people involved. You know, it's not a magic box that you know, it's not the what's the thing? The replicator in Star Trek. You can't just go, hey, make a first person shooter, and then it puts it out and it's perfect and it's ready to go and it's great. You know, that's not how this works. And that's kind of how this reads to me is, oh yeah, AI is going to cut costs and boost profits. Well, no, it's a tool and it should be used as a tool, but it's not a magic solution. You know, you have to be good at prompts and know what to do with the tool and know the limitations of the tools. I don't know. It goes into our last article that we're going to talk about too, but it's just, we have to be careful how much we lean on something because the rug can get pulled out from under you so quick with this stuff. You know, you can lean hard on it and then suddenly, oh, it's a major security risk because you were using some open source library that has been farming all of your queries, and now anybody can make EA games because they picked whoever they pick as their AI model, you know? They want AI to take over everything. Well, AI is taking over everything, just not in the way everybody thinks it is. Give AI tools to the developers, don't replace the developers. No, this is what I hope happens. Speed up development time so you can turn around more product. That's what needs to be the focus, not replacing, you know, anybody with AI. That's inevitable because there are some positions that will be replaced, but I don't think devs are going anywhere. I hope not. Oh boy, I really hope not. Anyway, all right, we'll move on to the next topic here because it's related. Over 50% of Japanese game devs are using AI, it has been claimed. The term AI is becoming more controversial by the day. Whatever your feelings on AI in game development, a new report suggests that 51% of game companies in Japan are developing games that feature some use of AI. AI is becoming more accepted by society with every passing second. The first major mainstream breakthrough arrived at ChatGPT. People understood its potential, and its use is appearing more frequently across all walks of life, more so in gaming. Many Japanese game companies using AI. According to Nikkei, through Eurogamer and other sources, 51% of companies are using artificial intelligence or AI or generative AI when developing games. Nikkei's claims stemmed from a September 25 report from the Computer Entertainment Association, organizer of the Tokyo Game Show. The bulk of AI usage goes into the production of videos and images, such as characters, and its use in generating stories and sentences, and programming support is also prominent. 32% of companies are using AI to develop their own game engines. Eurogamer says the findings are from 54 Japanese game companies, including many industry favorites: Capcom, Konami, From Software, Square Enix, and Sega, as well as smaller indie studios. If you're not a fan of AI, then the future of the games industry might not be for you. It's faster, easier, and cheaper for companies to develop games using AI, and the opposition isn't strong enough to reverse this process. It's going to keep happening. Please share your thoughts on AI usage in video games with us through the Insider Gamer Forum. Okay, all right. So, this shouldn't surprise anybody. Again, it's what I'm talking about. It's a tool, and it's a tool that's going to be used, hopefully correctly. As a developer by day, I'm not in the games industry, but as a software developer by day, I have been leaning on AI to do simple tasks for me that get me to the meat of the problem I have to solve in a given, sprint or day or whatever, or if I'm, looking at code that I don't understand because it was written and iterated on and not well documented and it's not real clear what to do, plug it into AI and go, hey, can you explain what this does? Okay, now I have some understanding. This speeds up a lot of time with a lot of different tasks. However, if they're using it for art generation and, video generation, I don't know. That's kind of concerning because that means your artists and your video editors aren't getting paid anymore. Hopefully that's not the case. And it's just used to supplement, hey, design a character, feed it into the AI, and then get some basic animations. Let's see how this works. Maybe, maybe that's a decent use case. But I don't know if I'm upset that AI wants, or people want, I say people, corporations, developer studios want to lean on AI to enhance their products. Sure. Make things easier, give yourself a quicker turnaround with some things. Let's see. AI is definitely not intelligent enough to actually write code unassisted. It is not. And then wife does graphic design for a job. She's used AI to prototype, brainstorm, and then does the real version herself. See, that's what I think as far as generative stuff, that's a great idea because you can quickly prototype an idea and then work from there, which is how I've used it to write new stuff or personal stuff. If I'm trying to come up with something I want to try for streaming, I go, hey, I want this to work with this API. And then I play with it a little bit. And then it turns out, oh, I don't really like the way that works. So then I have to go back and rework it quite a bit, and it's very, very few times that has been successful for me. But using AI to generate code, you got to babysit it. And same thing with art. I mean, we've seen what happens. It is getting better over time, but that doesn't replace the personal touch and the I don't know. It's weird. I'm gonna sound kind of metaphysical here, but if you as a believer, we all have a soul, and that goes into things. You put your heart and soul into what you produce, and when games is art, having an AI produce art, it's okay, but it's not gonna have the same impact. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe we've been bamboozled by AI in movies already. I don't know. But what I'm getting at is I don't want it to completely replace people because people still are creative and need a creative outlet. And so I think if we do get to a point where AI is completely the whole pipeline is AI, you'll start seeing indies lean on, hey, we use actual people because, that's a niche people are going to be attracted to. I don't know. I'm not bothered by this just yet. It depends on game quality. It depends on if animations and stuff are janky and we know AI was used. Well, hey, then we know what the problem was, I don't know. My full thoughts on it I haven't fleshed out a full thought. I just don't want AI to replace people entirely. Use Claude to write most of my new chatbot from a blank app. It actually does take way longer to get started with AI. The benefits only come when you can make additions simple. See, I think that's a cool use. And learning to really be specific with prompts and how to use whatever AI whatever model you're using, whatever system you're using, you got to learn how it works and the best way to talk to it. And hopefully, this is where I keep saying hopefully because I'm very hopeful. Try to be optimistic. Hopefully, that's how we're treating it in the software development space. Not as a replacement, but as a tool, like my keyboard or my mouse or my IDE, you know, whatever I'm developing my code in. Let's just keep it there. Don't give it any more importance than the keyboard or the mouse, you know. And that's where I'm at. That'll pretty much do it for the game news. That's all I got. So what do you guys think? It's crazy. I'm not scared of the AI takeover. I just think it's happening in a way that people maybe weren't expecting, because it's doing stuff that like we didn't see in science fiction media, right? Like we've got it generating art and movies and video of all sorts. We have AI generated content just kind of taking over social media in a big way. That's very concerning. But I think I don't think people really were paying attention when this stuff started getting out. To talk about AI code all day, probably ought to work instead with your AI tools. Well, you can talk to your AI bot about it. There you go. Have a chat with Claude about using Claude. Anyway, all right, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it for today. I've got to go check in with work and see what's going on there. A little concerned about today. We're going to hit a raid and wrap it up. Actually, I've done that. That's funny. All right, who are we sending it to this morning? That's the big question. We haven't rated GCG in a while. We playing Hades 2. We can do that. That'll work. Some DK Bonanza songs are added to Nintendo Music. I tagged you in Discord, Zeke. I tagged you in Discord about it, and you did not talk to me. All right.
Welcome back.
All right, guys. Y'all have a great day. And I will see you soon. I don't know when, because, well, maybe Friday morning. No stream tomorrow. No stream tonight. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you Friday. Bye.